you know, just about to depart on this awe-inspiring trip. You know, this is going to be a journey of a lifetime. Just give me a sense of what it is, why is it happening, and.
Okay. So it's the centenary race to the pole, the South Pole. It's 100 years since Scott and Atkinson had their epic journey, and the race is being put on by Extreme World Races. They've done this thing before. Some people might have seen Ben Fogle and Ed Coates and James Cracknell do the race, televised a couple of years ago. So it's the same race, and it's across the plateau of Antarctica. The course, they're actually in the process of setting the course now, so I'm not exactly sure how long it will be, but it'll be between somewhere like 740 kilometres and 750 kilometres, depending on where they set the course.
Okay.
And we start on the 1st of January, having had a couple of weeks of acclimatisation. We'll have made our way through the mountains up onto the plateau.
How high is the plateau?
Plateau's over 3,000 metres at the highest point, so it's high enough. I think when you add that it's not a huge altitude, but it's enough. You know, you'll feel it still.
Absolutely. When
you add that to the cold and everything else, so that'll be another thing to think about. And so we'll all set off on the 1st of January. There's a halfway point where we have an enforced rest day.
How good will that be?
Well, I think it will feel pretty good. It'd be nice to make halfway, although normally in these kind of things the second half is harder than the first half, so it won't really feel like halfway in many ways. But it'd be good to have a bit of a break, and they check us over medically and tell us whether we're okay to carry on, and then we'll go on from that point. And I think the fast teams will probably do it in just under 20 days.
Right.
I think the reality is that we might be nearer 25 days.
Okay.
I think that's my guess. It's very hard to tell. It's very hard to tell.
So you talk about the other teams. How many teams are there, and what do they comprise of?
Okay, so there are 7 teams in total, including our own. There are 4 teams that you might consider to have a bit of form. There's a team who have got some polar experience. There's a team of Norwegian guys, some skiers. There's an army team. And there's also a team from South Africa, and those guys have got some previous form for endurance races, doing multiple marathons back to back and rowing across the Atlantic. So they've got some form. And then there are 3 teams, of which I'm in one of them, that don't really have any form. They're charity teams. So obviously our charity is MenCap, which we're really proud to be supporting. And those 3 teams, they're really kind of your average guy off the street type teams, and yeah, we're in one of those.
So our team, Team Colley and Woods,
yeah,
so that comprises yourself and James. How long have you known him?
Not that long. Yeah, James contacted me. I'd shown an interest in doing this race and been trying to raise some money to do it. And James contacted me and said that he was wanting to go. He was ready to go, and would I like to be his teammate? And I jumped at the chance. So yeah, I haven't spent that much time with him, but we get on really well. He's quite, you won't mind me saying, he's quite anal about things, quite OCD about sorting things out. And I think in that kind of environment, we have to be quite careful and quite precise with what you do to avoid any kind of major catastrophes. Actually, we're quite useful, and I'm a little bit like that as well. I like to try to get the basic things done well and done properly, because the slightest thing can go wrong, and it can really bite you in the bum. So, for example, with 24 hours sunlight, we're going to need to have sun protection on any skin that is showing. If you forget to put that on in the tent before you leave the tent in the morning, and then you put it on while you're outside, the chances are that will freeze to your face. So it's one example of a little thing that can go horribly wrong, and hopefully we're both organised enough to avoid those sort of mistakes and give ourselves the best chance.